What's up, what's up, what's up? So today I'm gonna be sorry if you hear crinkling. I'm trying to get this bag open real quick. So today we're gonna be doing a little Q&A. I did this on my other channel, for my podcast. I did a Q&A over there just to break the ice. As a first video, I'd like you to know what's gonna be on this channel, what it's gonna look like, what I'm into, how I came to love all these hobbies and such. The main types of content you're gonna be seeing on here is bookish content, book related stuff. You're gonna be seeing gaming related content related to gardening and film. I also really love to craft, cook, bake, makeup, photography, art. Art isn't really a hobby to me though, it's more of a job. So we're just gonna be getting into all of these hobbies, what you're gonna see on here, what I like about them, what I don't like about them, whatever. It's a Q&A, guys. Okay, so the first topic that we're gonna be talking about is reading. The first question is, do you collect any books? Yes, I collect books. I started to get into that these past few years. I collect Stephen King. You may in the future see a Stephen King bookshelf tour, but then again, I mentioned this on my other channel. Basically, I don't have a camera that really focuses well when I'm recording video, so yeah, we're gonna have to wait on that for a while until I get a camera or until I figure out how to use mine. I really don't think mine focuses well when it comes to video, so I'll probably end up having to get one just to do that. So yeah, so what you'll be seeing is a lot of over here is videos where it's like speed paints of stuff that I've done on my Cintiq, and I'll do a voiceover over that talking about whatever I'm gonna talk about, or you'll see loops over and over again until I get a good camera for recording video. The camera that I have is good for recording every now and then, but it's really not that great. So we're gonna have to find a nice camera for video. So yes, the answer is yes, I do collect books. I collect Stephen King. I have pretty much all of his first editions. I do not discriminate when it comes to first editions. If it's a paperback, if it's a Signet paperback, I really don't care. First editions, cool covers of his. I collect Stephen King. I collect some of the classics. I collect multiple copies of Fahrenheit 451, multiple copies of 1984, multiple copies of Animal Farm, or any book that is truly significant to me. I like to collect the different editions of, because it's cool and it makes for a good Instagram photo, not gonna lie. The second question is, do you have a Goodreads? I do have a Goodreads. I do not use it like a lot of these booktubers use it. I don't make TBRs on there. I don't write reviews. The only time you'll ever see me writing a long review like that is if I feel that a book needs to be read by everyone, and I haven't done that yet. There are books out there that I could do that for because they're just that good, but I really don't want to be wasting my time on writing a good review on a book that I can just talk about. You know what I mean? I don't do digital TBRs. I have physical TBRs. Most of the time they never work. That's why I really don't like creating them. Unless I'm really motivated to read some books. Like, I don't know, for like a readathon or something. I do use it to track my progress throughout the year, how many books I've read, how many books am I behind, have I reached my goal for the end of the year. That is fun to me. I love doing that. I love seeing what books I read at the end of the year, although I do track that physically as well. That's what I use my Goodreads for. I have it. I don't even know if it's public or not. I can share it with you. It's literally the same username across all platforms. Scar Shayla is the username. Like I said, I don't even know if it's public. I don't use it like that. I don't know why you'd want to follow me on there. But if you want to, that's what it is. Okay, favorite genre or genres. My favorite genre by far is dystopian and post-apocalyptic. I love that. Literally half of my biggest bookshelf is dystopian or post-apocalyptic. I love that. It's technically not a genre on its own. A lot of people consider it to be a subgenre of like sci-fi and fantasy, but I don't care. It's a genre over here. Okay. I love thrillers. I now understand what the difference is between horror and thriller. Thriller is so much better than horror, in my personal opinion. I'm starting to love classics. Didn't read a lot of those when I was in high school or middle school or elementary, but I love them now. I love paranormal. I love reading about vampires and werewolves and just cheesy stuff like that. I'm trying to think of what else. That's literally it. I don't like hardcore fantasy. I'm not like a George R.R. Martin fan over here. Not into wanting to read 12 books that are 1,000 or 500 pages long. Sorry, that's just not me over here. Never read Harry Potter ever in my life, so, it could happen in the future. I'm never going to say never. I have the books. I have some of them. I have access to a lot of them, or all of them, but I've never read them before. But I'm never going to say never on that, you know what I mean? I'm never going to say never on not reading Game of Thrones. On reading Game of Thrones, my bad. I have the books. I haven't read them. I'm never going to say never on that because I know it's likely that I will end up reading them as long as they may be. Okay. I'm very excited about all my books, and I really can't wait to show you guys what my shelves really look like. You don't really get to see all of it on my Instagram. I really just can't wait to show you guys the collection that I have. I would call it a collection at this point. I would say it's worth a lot. I have some pretty rare stuff, and it's fun. It's fun for me. It's not really about what it's worth. It's really about the hunt. I love the hunt for books. Going to these sales and just seeking them out, going to thrift stores, seeking them out, finding a gem. It's so fun for me. It really just is. Okay. Let's move on. Hardcovers or paperbacks? I'm gonna say paperbacks for the win. Hardcovers are so uncomfortable, y'all. Like, they just are. They're really uncomfortable to read. You really don't get to bend the cover itself back. With hardcovers, I just way prefer paperbacks. Of course, hardcovers are nicer, looking nicer, longer lasting. But, bruh, like, I'm not even gonna lie to you. If you said, do you want this big $30 massive hardcover, or do you want this, trade paperback or mass market? I'd probably choose the mass market or the trade paperback. That's just how I am. That's just how I roll. I just really don't like hardcovers. They're super expensive. Not for me, because I'm gonna get into that. But they are just completely uncomfortable, bro. Like, every single time I finish a hardcover, I'm like, oh, thank God I can read this paperback now, But if that's all I have, I will read it. I don't care. But my preference is paperbacks. Now, this question is, how long have you been reading? Basically, since I can remember, really young, I used to read all the time instead of watching TV, and we didn't have, laptops and phones back then. I read for fun, and I loved reading. Some of my favorites were Judy B. Jones or Junie B. Jones or whatever the hell you call her name. I don't even know what it is. Judy, is it Junie or is it Judy? Mandela effect. But Cam Jansen, any mystery type stuff. When I found out that I had Little House on the Prairie, the whole set, y'all are gonna laugh. I love those books with all my heart. I love those. I used to read Diary of a Wimpy Kid just like every other person back in the early 2000s. I matched. You're gonna hear me talk about rant and rave about that series all day long. That's what got me into reading. Dystopian specifically, or utopian, whatever you want to call it. It's more dystopian though. Artemis Fowl. I'm not even gonna get into the movie that they released this year that was so disappointing. I loved that book series when I was younger. I know a lot of other people did. That was my version of Harry Potter. So I've been reading for a long time. Okay, and I kind of fell out of love with it in 5th and 6th grade because I had teachers that basically told me, hey, you need to write down what you read, and I don't like writing down about what I read. I like talking about it. I don't like writing paragraphs and sentences on a book that I already know. I can interpret books. It's just I don't like writing it down. It's not fun for me. And so I was completely turned off for reading until I'd probably say about sophomore year in high school. Yeah, that's how long of a break I took on reading. Yeah, it was a long, extended break for reading, but now I'm back and I'm into it now. So nobody's gonna tell me that I have to write something on a book that I just read and I know everything about it. I don't need to prove to you that I read it when I can just explain it to you what I just read. I don't need to write that down. Do you understand what I'm saying? Okay. I know I'm not the only one. Other question is, how many books do you have? Girl, honey, if I was to guess, I'd probably say, I'll probably say, y'all gonna think I have problems. I'm gonna say minimum 200, maximum 500. Okay, I have books underneath my bed. I have 3 bookshelves in my room. There's bookshelves in my closet. There's or shelves that I use as bookshelves in my closet. I have books everywhere. And so yeah. So I'm going to say minimum 200, max 500. It's not really a problem because I don't ever buy them full price. Really, we're going to get into that later. Or actually, great segue. That's the next question. Where did you buy them? Book sales, thrift stores, libraries. Basically, what happened is junior year in high school, towards the end of the junior year in high school, I started getting into reading again, and I was like, wow, this is really cool. Then I found BookTube, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is my place, this is my people. And so basically, and then I looked at my bookshelves, and I'm like, wow, I really don't have a lot of books. And so I took a trip, summer vacation. There's a lot of thrift stores where I vacationed at. I bought a lot of books there. I Bought a lot of books there. There was a sale going on in the town that I was staying at, and it was huge. And I found my first Stephen King books, and I found my first Stephen King books at some of the thrift stores in the town as well. And that was fun for me. And then I found out about the website booksalefinder.com. No, this is not sponsored, but that is the best website to use to find out book sales in your area. All you need to do is go on the map. Let's say you live in Minnesota. You go on the website and you click on Minnesota, and they give you every single sale there is that is advertised on the website by these different towns, by these different groups that are running the book sales on there for you, so you can see what place is closest to you, what place is farthest from you, and where you feel like you want to shop at. It's perfect. It's literally amazing. I love that site so much. It's helped me so much in this time. A lot of resellers use it. And it's just a fun experience. If you've never been to a book sale in your life, I highly suggest that you do it. It's an experience, bro. It is an experience. It's cutthroat. Tell you right now, the Amazon booksellers, the resellers, they're not playing. They're not coming to play games. They're literally coming to basically dominate. I mean, it's such a fun experience. I don't know how to describe it to you. If you've never been to one, I suggest, even if you don't like books, bro, just go there and see how people act. It's amazing. It's great. It's definitely very competitive. It feels as soon as they cut that red ribbon and you're ready to run in, bro, you better make sure you know where you're going, because people can get crazy sometimes. People can block the way to get into. People will try stealing stuff out of your bags. People will try stealing stuff out of your boxes. It's a fun experience. You see people from a lot of different walks of life, because you've got resellers all over the place. It's fun. It's very, very fun. And the books are extremely cheap. I would say, if I was to break down new versus used books in my personal collection, I would say about 98% have been used, and the other 2% were bought new. 2%, y'all. That's what my personal evaluation would be. The minimum that I pay when I'm shopping for used books is 25 cents. Yes, I know that's crazy. 25 cents. The highest I've ever paid for a used book is $2. And that's not really true. It's more if you go to actual bookstores, because that's what they specialize in. But I'm saying, if you've been to a book sale or a thrift store, $2 is the max that I've ever paid for. Okay. That's pretty amazing. $2, you can already guess, is for the hardcovers. That's the max amount. 25 cents paperback. $1 paperback. Okay, that's generally how it is. 50 cents paperback, $2 hardcover, $3 hardcover. Okay, so it is a fun experience. I encourage you to go out there, find a book sale, go there, and I'm telling you, you will see all walks of life. It is fun. The conversations you will have with these people, it's fun. The confrontations that you'll see in some of these sales, it is very fun. There's a pet peeve of mine, though. I will warn you about the scanners. I cannot stand the scanners. Sorry if you're one of them, but I really don't like you. The scanners are just completely obnoxious. They like sitting on the floor like they're in a supermarket or something. And just imagine if someone sat down in the middle of the supermarket. It was crowded. The aisle's crowded. Just imagine the aisle is crowded. Let's say you're going to get pasta, okay, and the aisle is crowded. It's like Thanksgiving, the day before Thanksgiving, everyone's there, and you've got this guy sitting on the floor scanning pasta, every single box. And you're like, hey, can I please go over there and get my pasta sauce? And dude's like, no, I'm sitting here right now and I'm scanning every last box. That's my analogy for that. But it's an experience, y'all. I miss them because this whole pandemic, I haven't been able to go to really any this year. And it's been, oh my God, it's been a shame. It's really a shame that I haven't been to any really this year. I've been to a few. It's a shame that I haven't been to that many this year because I tell you right now, it's an experience. I urge everyone to do it once in their life. It is a fun thing to do. Even, like I said, even if you're not a reader yourself, go there, buy some books for your relatives or whoever, friends, family, whoever. It is fun. It is a fun experience. I guarantee you'll like it. You'll see a lot. That's all I'm going to say. So yeah, that's practically pretty much where I buy them. I've got a few spots that I just love. And, yeah, so, anyway. And when you go to sales consistently, you will know which is the best place. It's kind of like on Halloween, right? It's kind of like on Halloween when if you go every year, you know what houses are the best. You know what houses are the best. You know what houses are rich and have money like that and are going to give you that full-size candy bar. Okay? So, and so when you've been doing this for a long time, like just a few sales, you will start to understand where the rich people live and where you can get the best stuff and where, people are consistently dying off in droves and, where you can find the best stuff. So usually I'd say it's kind of the same. It's like on Halloween, you go to the rich white houses in the rich white neighborhoods and you will get your full-size candy bar. It's kind of the same thing with the books. You want a first edition Stephen King, you gotta go to where the rich people live, okay? You're not gonna be finding no first edition Stephen King's in these ghetto areas, okay? That's all and you might, but it's pretty unlikely. I kind of went off on a tangent there. What's your ideal conditions for reading? I'll tell you. My dream is to have a house that has I hate the Beauty and the Beast, but I'll give this example. Like a Beauty and the Beast type library. Like I want Belle's library. I'm talking about built-in bookshelves, the most expensive fine wood stained whatever that you can find, Victorian style, with a fireplace and my 7 dogs, and that's my dream, and a candle, and maybe some hot chocolate or tea. But for where I'm at right now, my best state when I'm reading is with the fake fireplace sounds in the background. This is the best I can do, guys, okay? Fake fireplace sounds in the background, fake library sounds in the background, with a candle on that's giving the aroma, okay? Giving the aromas off, and sitting there reading, late night, chilled out. I'm just sitting there and I'm reading. It's relaxing, and it's just, okay. That's the best I can do now. When and if, well, anyway, that's the future. Let me not get ahead of myself, okay? So that's my ideal condition. Ideally, I would love to be in a Victorian style library that I have all to myself, with all my books displayed really pretty on these dark stained bookshelves, sitting in my little chair by the window. It's raining outside and the fireplace going, okay? That's my ideal scenario, but we're just not there yet, okay? So ideal with the little fake sounds on YouTube and the candle, the Bath and Body Works candle. So that's what I'm gonna do for right now. So, what did you read growing up? I kind of already spoiled this one. I already told you. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Little House on the Prairie, GDB Jones, Cam Jansen. I love the Magic School Bus stuff. Treehouse ain't got nothing on a Magic School Bus. Okay, let me just tell you. Magic School Bus all day long for the win. Matched. Told you that's literally my favorite series of all time. Not joking. A lot of people are gonna think that's ridiculous. The Poison Apple books. Like, I was into paranormal back then. Those Poison Apple books, fantastic. If you know what I'm talking about, I might even put all these on the screen so you know. Literally amazing. The popularity papers were kind of cool when I was growing up, like elementary school level. Amelia's notebooks were fun too. Listen, I'm throwing out some old. I'm giving you some throwbacks. Artemis Fowl, you know what I'm saying? Throwbacks, y'all. Okay. A lot of people don't really know that I know. Okay. Anyway. Okay, so that's the end of the reading segment. Let's get into gaming. So yeah. First console was a Wii. Still have it to this day. I got it from my grandpa. I love that thing. Wii Sports, Just Dance, and Mario Kart are by far my favorite. And then singing with the High School Musical, bro. Listen, okay. I'm not a singer. Okay, I don't claim to be good, but listen, okay. When I'm belting out on the sing it, okay, trust me. Okay, I know all the words, I know all the lyrics, and it may not be music to your ears, but it's music to mine, okay? So, yeah, that was the first one. That was amazing. I love that to this day. We still play it every now and then, and it's just great, okay? I love the trivia games and stuff like that. I love the games, okay? The Wii is honestly amazing. Who needs a Wii U when you have the original? Seriously. And it's a workout, okay? When I was young, okay, I'm still not into working out, okay? Back then, I wasn't into working out either, but let me tell you something. I was in shape, okay? I did not have the Wii Fit. I had the Wii, okay? And them remotes, when you are boxing for your life, when you are out here playing golf for your life, baseball, tennis for your life, your arms, my right arm was probably amazing back. I'm telling you, strong. Like, you don't even need the Wii Fit. You just need the Wii Sports. And I break a sweat on the Wii Sports and the Just Dance in about 15-20 minutes. Okay, I really break a sweat on that thing. It's not a joke. It's for when I'm playing. It's for real. It's not a game. I'm coming to crush you. Anyway, favorite games on that console. Again, I already kind of just spoiled those. Wii Sports, Mario Kart, Sing It, Just Dance. There's probably a lot more that I'm missing, but those are like the top ones. First handheld, the days when I had a DS Lite. Chef's kiss. Chef's kiss. That thing was amazing. It was cotton candy pink, and the day I broke it was the saddest day of my life, y'all. Not even exaggerating. It was the saddest day of my life when I broke that thing. I think I was coming in from swimming or something, and I was carrying in the towels, and it just fell, and it broke in half, and that was a sad day. I cried. Cried like a little baby. That was sad. That was really sad when I broke that thing. It was pink. I think I might have even had, they, back in the day, used to be able to put the covers on them things, like the sticker covers. Like, instead of having it in a case, you just put the sticker cover on it. Do you know what I'm saying? I'll probably have to put up a photo. I don't know. Did I have, like, Jonas Brothers or something on that thing? I don't even remember, y'all. I don't even remember. It was amazing. It was so fun. The chat thing, I forget what you call it. Y'all know what I'm talking about. The OGs know what I'm talking about, okay? You used to be in the elementary school and you used to be fake texting and sending all this dumb stuff to your friends in the classroom. It was amazing. It was funny. It was great. Why doesn't the 3DS have that? I don't know why. It should be a feature. Just throw back or just make a new handheld that has that old type feature. That was amazing. I miss that thing with all my heart and soul. Had to get rid of it. It was literally broken in half. It was literally the screen. You know how there's two parts of the DS? So basically, one of the hinges was broken, and the other one it was like hanging on for dear life. It was bad, y'all. Maybe one day I'll buy the same cotton candy pink DS Lite. One day. Favorite games on that handheld. My favorite games on that thing were Nintendogs, Carnival Games, Cooking Mama, Mario Kart. Trying to think of what other ones were fun. Tinkerbell was fun. Don't judge me, y'all. Like, y'all know these games are fire. Okay, don't even play games. Trying to think what other ones. My brother had a lot of cool ones too. Listen, and that is why I was so glad that when the 3DS came out, it was compatible with the DS games. Because I'll tell you, I was so upset the day that I broke that thing. But then I found out that the 3DS is compatible with the DS, and I have the 3DS, so that's great. So now I'm still able to play all those old games. It's amazing. Well, actually, that was my first legit handheld. I'm thinking about this now. That was my first legit handheld. Other handhelds, y'all are gonna laugh. You wouldn't even really consider these handhelds, but I'm just gonna say it. The Leapster, Pixar, or whatever, not Pixar's, Pixel, or something like that. I'm telling you, the Leapster was fire. The Leapster that I'm talking about is not the ones that these kids get nowadays, okay? 90s kids think that we don't know what it was like to blow into the cartridges. Yes, I do. Leapster taught me that. And you slam the thing right in there. And the one that I'm talking about, I've seen it before on eBay. I've wanted to buy it, but then I thought about all the kids' grubby little hands on the things, and I just haven't bought it yet. You know what I'm saying? One day I'll buy it, but today is not that day, and I'm forever saddened by the fact that I was stupid enough to sell mine. I sold mine for a song and a dance, and I'm pretty upset about it. I'm still upset about it to this day. The math game on there was amazing. Like, do you understand? Like, that was iconic. The SpongeBob game on there was iconic. Okay, a lot of people are gonna think that I'm crazy after this, but y'all, if you're a real one, you know what I'm talking about. Okay. The SpongeBob game, the Pets game, oh my goodness, the games that were on that, the Incredibles. Okay, there were so many good games with the Leapster that I'm just like, kids today don't know it. They just don't know it, okay? They just don't know what it's like to live the life, and they don't know what it's like. And I feel bad for them because that was a huge part of my childhood, being on that Leapster, hooking it up to the TV, and just a huge part of my life, okay? Kids today will just not understand. They just won't understand. They just won't get it. I mean, it makes me sad that a generation is growing up without those iconic games. Okay. Leapster sponsor me. Okay. Other consoles you played on since. I'm not a console person. I've never bought one in my life. But I played on my brother, so. PS2, PS3, PS4, the Switch. My friends have the Switch. Would you even consider that a console? I don't know. And that's really it. I've never played on an Xbox in my life. Yikes. I know. Well, I dodged a bullet, some people would say. But that's pretty much all of the ones that I played on since. Xbox or PlayStation controller. Now, I told you I never played on an Xbox. That doesn't mean I don't have an Xbox controller. I have a Windows computer. I know what an Xbox controller is. I know what it does. Okay, I have one. It's white. It's nice looking. It's pretty. But I actually prefer the PlayStation controller. It's a lot more comfortable. It's just comfortable. The joysticks or whatever you want to call them are just amazing. The Xbox controller is just, the joysticks are just so hard and your fingers will get blisters on them, and I'm not a fan of that. And I want to bring up another, well, no, I'm not going to bring that up. Favorite games now. I love Minecraft is my forever game. Minecraft is forever. It's never gonna die. It's not like Fortnite where it's gonna die. Minecraft is always gonna be that game that everyone plays, and it's iconic, and it's just forever amazing. You can't go wrong with that. It's never gonna get boring. You're always gonna be able to build. You're always gonna be able to fight the zombies. There's always new updates every year. So it's never going to get old. And so that's my forever number one game ever. I love Minecraft. I do. Fortnite I used to love. I still kind of love it. I play it during the holidays. Don't judge me. I play it during the holidays. Don't judge me. I like the free stuff. Okay. It's fun. I love my skins. That's why I'm never going to completely uninstall it or stop playing it, because I have skins. Okay, I paid for them. I bought and paid for them. I'm not just going to give up on that game altogether. I'm going to play it every once in a while and enjoy my fruits of my labor. Okay? Don't judge me. I have GTA 5. I need to get an actual PC so I can actually run that game. I want to play it so bad. I see it on my brother's PC, and it's just like, I want to play it so bad, but my laptop just cannot handle it, okay? My laptop, listen, okay, I've had many a laptop in my life, okay, and never in my life has a laptop been able to run a game like that. So I know what it's made for, and I'm going to have to get a PC one day. I'm not stupid, I know that you can't run certain things on a laptop. It's just, sorry, and a lot of people are like, oh, we'll get a gaming laptop. Listen, even they know that their laptop can only do so much, okay? Don't act completely, ignorant. We all know that a laptop cannot run a game like that, for real, okay? For real. Like, as smoothly as PC. So, that's the end of the segment for gaming. Now we're going to go on to gardening. This is real fun, guys. I like answering these questions. I'm very smart for asking these questions, and I'm really liking answering them. So, question number 1 for gardening is flowers or food? I'm always gonna say food, because you can't really eat flowers, although there are marigolds, there are dandelions, there are zucchini flowers that you can eat, but the zucchini flowers are off of a vegetable plant, so it's not really okay. I'm gonna say food all day. Flowers may look pretty, they may attract the bees, which is a good thing, but I'd rather grow something that I can eat. That's just how I am. Don't judge me. What was the first plant you helped grow or grew? The first plant I ever remember having my hands on, like where it was a hands-on situation, was a string bean plant. That was like the thing that got me into gardening. That was like kind of the first plant I ever remember my mom, letting me near or whatever. So that was like the first thing. That was like my introduction to like gardening. And by the way, green beans for a beginner is, I would say, one of the best things to grow. You can get multiple harvests on if you're smart and you pick them as soon as you possibly can. You don't want them to get big and meaty, because then the energy, the plant is putting all that energy into those few that are on the plant, and they're not putting more energy into putting more fruit off. So if you pick them earlier, I'm not saying pick them when they're like not even an inch, not even a centimeter thick. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you want to continuously, like, you want to be on top of it and pick them off when they're done. So you can get more harvest off the plant. You can get max, or I'm not going to say max. I know you can get 3 harvests off of one green bean plant. And that's pretty much, how it is. If you're on top of it. If you accidentally leave one string bean on the plant, it will put energy into that one string bean, and then you're not going to have any more harvest. So you just have to stay on top of that. But it is a good plant to grow for beginners. Favorite thing to plant. I love the sugar snap peas in the spring. Those are sweet, juicy. They're nice in stir fries. Tomatoes grow really well in our area. It's amazing. There's a lot of varieties of those. That's kind of fun. I'm loving kale. I love kale. It's a more hardy version of lettuce. It's great. I love growing string beans. I love growing beans, period. Lima beans, I noticed this year, I'm probably really not going to grow them next year because it doesn't really pay to grow them. If you can get a big bag of lima beans in the freezer section or in the canned food section, it doesn't really pay to grow them because there's not a lot on the one plant. And I grew like 4 different plants of them next year. So you learn things when you've been doing it for a long time. I'm trying to think of other plants that are fun. I love chives. I love any easy herb like that. I love lemon balm. I'm gonna grow a lot of that next year, hopefully. Love lemon balm. Trying to think of what other things I like to grow. I don't know. Gardening is fun, y'all. I don't really have a particular favorite. I wouldn't say that I have like a number one favorite. What got you into gardening? My mom. YouTubers got me more invested into it this year because they actually know what they're doing and I don't. So they give really good advice, and there's some good people out there that have some really good information and been doing this for a long time. And, so anyway. What do you plan on growing in 2021? I have a lot of plans. I bought a lot of seeds. I have a lot of plans. I have a lot of things that I want to do. I may end up buying a community plot. I don't know yet. I'm not 100% set on that idea yet. But I plan on growing a lot of different tomato varieties. I plan on growing a lot of different kale varieties. I plan on growing a lot of different lettuce varieties. Lots of different things in the works for 2021. In terms of gardening, I'm very excited. A favorite reference for gardening. I have this book, and I don't remember what it's called. I'll have to take a photo of it or find it online. Just post it right here. This book I found at a thrift store. It's all beat up. It's all messed up. But it has very valuable information in it. Now it says favorite reference for gardening. My favorite reference is YouTube because you can find anything on YouTube pretty much. My second close favorite, and it might even be more to me a better choice than YouTube at some points. This particular book is amazing. I suggest everyone has this in their arsenal. If something happened where you couldn't use YouTube and you couldn't get on the internet, this book has a lot of information in it, and I absolutely love it. It's amazing. It has a lot of really good information about it. It doesn't have a lot of visuals, but it basically, like, let's say pests. Like, they tell you about the hornworms, they tell you about all the different pests that can be in your garden, what to do to repel them naturally. It's amazing. Everyone needs to get this book. I can't imagine it's that much money, but it is amazing. Everyone needs to have it. It's perfect. You need to go read it because it's great. Raised beds, in ground or containers. What do I think about raised beds, in ground beds, and containers? I think raised beds are perfect for people that have terrible soil and don't want to invest into the time and energy of making the soil there better. It's perfect for people that have like me. I'm not gonna say that, but well, it's better for people that don't really want to. I don't know. I'm going to say with the raised beds is it's good for suburban, urban type areas. If you have a bunch of property, you're not going to want to invest that much money into lumber. So, of course, you're going to do the in-ground beds. You're going to do it, and most likely, if you have that much property, the soil is probably decent. And yeah, in ground to me is better for completely rural areas or kind of a suburban area where you have a lot of space and you don't really want to invest that much into lumber and filling those beds, which can be a lot of money if you don't have a place where you can get compost or something like that. And containers are really perfect for the urban gardener or the suburban gardener that doesn't really have a lot of space, or the rural gardener that just wants to grow some things inside every now and then. There's downsides and upsides to both of these things. Will the in-ground last longer? Yes, it'll last forever. As long as you have dirt on the planet, they're going to last forever. The raised beds won't last forever if you're making them with lumber. If you're making them with metal, I don't know how that works. Do they rust? Do they not rust? I've never had a metal raised bed in my life. I assume that they probably don't rust, because they probably got some sort of protective waterproof coating on there or something. And, what else can you make raised beds out of? I'm trying to think. Anyway, so the in-ground will last forever, and it's a good thing to do. You know what I'm saying? It's a good thing to have some in-ground beds. And some containers and some raised beds. It's nice to experiment with those sort of things because some people say this is 100% better than this, or they say this is much better than this. Just try it, okay? Just try everything for yourself. The next topic is film. Favorite movies as a kid. I loved Robin Williams growing up. I had a lot of favorite movies from him. Loved My Babysitter's Vampire. I grew up with a lot of Disney movies, the High School Musicals, not the Shake It Up, so what am I talking about? The Let It Shines, the, you know what I'm saying, Drake and Josh movies, the whatever movies that were out there at the time. Real fun stuff. Loved the Disney movies and stuff like that. And the animated Disney movies as well. Your Halloween Towns, your Sky Highs, your whatever. Trying to think of more favorite movies that I had as a kid. I didn't really like watch movies like that. I feel like I watched more shows back then, so I don't really have that many favorite movies that I had back then. I mostly watched, the Disney and the Nickelodeon and whatever. What shows did you watch? I hated when I was a kid, absolutely with a burning fiery passion, hated like cartoons. Hated it. The Ben 10s, the Tom and Jerry's, the Jimmy Neutron, the Fairly Odd Parents. Hated all that stuff. Hated it. I would wait till like whenever the normal shows came on, and that's what I would watch. So I watched Drake and Josh, Zach and Cody, all the basic ones that I hated. Hannah Montana, hated her even back then. I guess my discernment, Anyway, so yeah, trying to think what other shows. Everybody Loves Raymond, amazing. What are the ones that I watched when I was younger? Full House. It's a shame that the people on that show aren't what we thought they were when we were kids. It really is a shame. I mean, the Bob Saget stuff is disgusting. The Lori Loughlin shit is disgusting. It's a disappointment, honestly. All those actors are just disappointing. It's really sad. And then what happened to the twins is depressing. What happened to DJ is equally depressing. So it's sad. I'm trying to think what other shows did I watch as a kid. I watched a lot of stuff. Like, my brain's blanking out here. Oh, My Babysitter's a Vampire. Love that show too. House of Anubis. You used to watch that. It's very cultic. You watch it now. You will see how demonic that show was. That show was something else. Trying to think what other things I watched. I loved all the late night type shows. When I was growing up. It's a shame that they're terrible now. It's really a shame. But yeah, I didn't really, I wasn't, when Teen Wolf and Vampire Diaries were a thing, I was not out here watching those. I was young. I didn't know what the CW was, and now I know, and now I'm put onto it. So, favorite shows to watch now. I love The Walking Dead. I loved The 100 while it was around. I'm excited because Teen Wolf is finna have their new season after how many years. Cobra Kai is amazing. Thinking what else? I love the Unsolved Mysteries Netflix reboot. Love that one. I really get into a lot of the old shows, though. The reason why I don't like getting into new shows is because I like the fact that when the show is over, I can go binge watch all 15 seasons. That's what I like doing. I don't like having to wait a week for an episode. Sorry, and then another year for the next season. I'm not a big fan of that, so that's why I really watch a lot of older shows. What seasons am I excited about to come out next year? Listen guys, I'm not really that big of a show type person right now. I like watching older shows. I don't really like watching newer ones. And if it's a, relatively new one, it's probably been out for I don't watch relatively new shows really like that either. I really like watching old shows, and if they so happen to be making seasons currently, so be it. Whatever, I'll wait. I love Fear the Walking Dead as well. I'm not watching this new Other Way, Walking Dead, whatever it's called. I don't know what it's called. I don't care to know what it's called. I don't care to know who's in it. I'm not going to watch it, period. Okay. Favorite genre and genres is pretty much the same, honestly. same as the books. I love dystopian, love thriller, love paranormal, supernatural, classics. I love, it's kind of the same thing, guys. I hate horror. I literally hate horror. Don't ever put me in a room with a possession movie. I will not watch it. I refuse to let those types of demons come to my house. I'm not joking. Don't even try it with me. Yeah, don't even try it. I know what Hollywood's trying to do. I'm not gonna do that. Oh, okay. This is a good question. What do I gain from sitting in front of a screen to watch people act? Well, it helps me understand life, I guess, like, because a lot of these shows have like some really good life lessons, and it's really for entertainment and also to know what the enemy is doing and the predictive programming. But we get into that over my second channel. We're not really gonna get into that over here. Okay, so that's the end of the film segment. We're gonna be getting into the crafting portion of this now. First question is, when were you introduced to crafting? I'd probably say when I was like super young. Arts and crafts is kind of big. Hot glue guns and putting things together and making things. It's fun. So I'd probably say like, elementary school age, kind of. What did you like making as a kid? I loved making duct tape wallets. I still do. I have all the materials still to this day. I love the rainbow loom. That was fun when that was a thing. Remember that, guys, when you used to show your friends or the people in the school all the different patterns that you learned. Bro, that was a thing back then. I know you guys probably don't understand. I feel bad for the kids nowadays. They don't understand what this was all like. You know what I'm saying? It was OG up in here. What else do I like making? Oh, the flower headbands where you just glue on fake flowers to like headbands and stuff. That was kind of cool. What else did I like making? Squishies. I went through a squishy phase, y'all. I know. Weird stuff. I'm telling you, people really just don't know a lot of things about me, but y'all are gonna learn now. I went through a huge squishy phase. Watching people make them, watching people package them like they were like Sanrio or something. I'm telling you, it's fun. What do you like making now? I still like making duct tape wallets. If you see me out in the streets, that's my wallet. I will never pay for a wallet when I know how to make one and I know how to make it look real cute and everything like that. I love making friendship bracelets, or that's what they call them, but I just like calling them bracelets because they don't have to be, friendship bracelets. They're just bracelets, embroidery floss and everything. I like knotting them up and everything, the forward, backward knots, whatever. Y'all know. If y'all know, y'all know. I also like making, is that it? That's pretty much it now. I feel like I don't really craft like that. I don't really, do a lot of, just honestly, friendship bracelets or embroidery floss bracelets and duct tape wallets. That's kind of like my jam. How often is it that you craft? Do you, when you have so many other hobbies? I'll tell you, I would say, in comparison to every other hobby that I have, I really don't craft that much. I really just don't anymore. I used to love it when I was younger. It used to be a way to kind of sort of make money. Not really. But it was fun, I don't really do it much anymore because it's not really something that you can really make a profit off of. Because you spend all this money into crafting materials and I also used to make chokers. Used to make chokers with ribbons and the ribbon clamps. That was fun. But I really don't craft that often because it's kind of like how much money you put into it and how much you get back is like it's not even worth it. It's not even worth it. It would be worth it if I had an Etsy, which that was the next question. Do you have an Etsy? I do not have an Etsy yet. I want to make one so bad. Maybe I would make money then, but it's still not really worth it at the end of the day. The next segment is about makeup. So the first question is, when did you start wearing it? I started wearing makeup about freshman year. I was watching a lot of YouTubers and I was like, wow. I was blown away at how the fact that you can make art on your face. I mean, right up my alley. So I said, yeah, I'm going to invest in some brushes, some eyeshadow, and whatever. It's really fun. I love doing it. It is a pain though because you kind of have to get up early and it takes you like an hour to beat your face, but it's fun. What were your thoughts on it as a kid? I used to be so cruel and mean to anyone that wore makeup when I was younger because I thought it meant you were fake. You know what I'm saying? I thought it meant that you were fake as a $3 bill and I would just not associate myself with you, and I just thought it was so dumb and foolish to do that to yourself. And now I understand that it's fine. It's fine. It's just makeup. It's just powders and liquids on your face. It's not that complicated. It's not that complex. If you feel a certain way towards people that wear it, I'm sorry. But now I'm grown and I understand that it's not that big of a deal. I was something else when I was a kid, I'm not gonna lie to you. What do you like about it now? I love the fact that I can basically paint on my eyelids. I'll tell you, my favorite part about makeup is the eyeshadow. The amount of colors, the fact that you can make it match your outfit, I love and I live for that stuff. I love it. I love it. No, I absolutely love and live for it, and it's fun. It's amazing. It brings out your eyes. If you have beautiful eyes, or if you have brown eyes and they're boring and you're sad about it, and you put some eyeshadow on, it's gonna bring out your eyes. So do it. Don't be basic about it either. Go for the bold colors. I'm never a person that really likes doing browns and beiges. No, that's not me. I like putting on green. I like putting on purple eyeshadow. I like putting on red eyeshadow. Red is my favorite. Pink. Love pink eyeshadow. Hate blue eyeshadow. It doesn't look good on me. It just doesn't. It's terrible. It's literally a mess anytime I try and do blue. I love the smoky eyes. It brings out your eyes, guys. If you have boring brown eyes, do it. Trust me, it'll look good. You'll be happy about it. And invest in some good brushes. It's kind of like art. Invest in some good brushes. Invest in some good eyeshadow pigments. Invest in all that stuff. Invest in a good primer. Make sure to put on primer. And you'll be happy about it. You'll be like, wow, this is great. Why didn't I do this before? Why didn't I put on a purple eyeshadow? Why didn't I put on? People are so stuck in their ways. They're like, oh, browns, blacks, maybe the occasional pink, or peach, but no, go for it. Wear purple eyeshadow in public. Wear it every day. Wear your orange eyeshadow. Wear your green eyeshadow. Be bold, okay? Be bold. And if people don't like it, tell them to basically, go somewhere. Do you need to leave the house with it on? Absolutely not. I've worn no makeup for a lot of years, so I can go without it. I'm not one of these people that wore it ever since they're like 5 years old and I need it, or otherwise I'm ugly. No, I actually like it when it's not on too, because then my eyes don't get super irritated or whatever. And I can scratch my eyes when you're wearing eyeshadow like I do. You can't really do that. You can't really just scratch your eye like you want to. So, you know. And so yeah, I don't really, when I'm out and about, sometimes I'll wear it. It depends on how I'm feeling that day. I really don't care. It is fun though for me. Will you share makeup related content on this channel? Maybe, maybe not. That's something I'll probably think about in the future. I'll think about it. Okay, so now we're gonna get into the next segment, which is about art, which isn't really one of my hobbies. And let me get into saying something right now. I was debating making a third channel. I'm glad I didn't, because it's just gonna be too much work, and I don't really like filming my process of making art. It's something that's personal to me, and it's like I need to be in the zone, and I don't really want a camera, basically filming me and it really doesn't work because my hand gets in the way anyway, so it's not really that fun. But I was thinking about making a separate channel for that. It may come in the future. I may change my mind on this, but for now it's just two. Okay, so we're just gonna answer these questions real quick. What got you into painting / drawing? How and when, wait, I'm like thinking. Okay, yeah, what got you into painting / drawing? And how and when did you know that's what you wanted to do for a living? When I was in elementary school and preschool, y'all, I was at the Fisher-Price easel every single day, and they literally had to pull me away from it, and they're like, listen, Shayla, okay, you gotta, let these other kids get on here, because you've been on here, all week long, and you need to, give these kids are sick of playing house and Legos with the kids, okay? They need to get on this easel right now, and you're just gonna have to leave and go, sit in a corner somewhere, do something, because I was not the playing house type. I was created for a reason, and I know that art is my gift, because from a young age, that's all I wanted to do. Literally, just put me in front of the Fisher-Price easel, put me in front of the washable paints and the big brushes, and that's where I was at. Okay, and you wasn't gonna get me away from that. And then, basically, my teachers knew this, and they'd they'd be like, oh, Shayla, this kid really wants to paint, you're taking up the time. I'm like, I'm working. You know what I'm saying? I was something else, y'all. I was working. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, what are these other kids? They're gonna paint a little stick figure and bring it home to mommy? No, I'm Picasso, and you need to step out of the way. For real. So that's how I knew that's what I wanted to do. I knew it from day one. When they put me in front of that easel, it was like the glitter paint and oh my gosh, just listen. It was an experience, okay? And I was never the playhouse type of person. See, that's how I know I'm an independent woman, okay? I was never into playing the house, okay? Y'all, listen, okay? I was never into playing house. I was never into playing Legos with the boys, okay? No. I was always about my business, okay? And so they pull me away. They'd pull me away for 30 minutes, and they're like, Shayla, you can go back now. Because they'd see me sitting in the corner somewhere, not socializing with any of the kids. They probably felt bad, and they're like, oh my gosh, look at her. She's not even, doing what she's supposed to do. She's not even over there socializing or playing house or playing mommy. Listen. Oh my god. So... Anyway, so listen, from a young age, I was about my business, okay? I was not about playing dress up, I was not about LARPing in the classroom, okay? I was not putting on my little fairy tiara and acting like I'm princess, whatever that, you know what I'm saying? I was about my business back then, so that's how I knew, because they couldn't pull me away from that thing. When was your first commission? I would say my first commission was in 8th grade. It was she didn't pay me for it. I don't think so. No, she didn't pay me for it. It was just she basically asked me to do this thing, and I said, you know what, I'll try. And it didn't really come out that great, but whatever. And then my real first commission was, I want to say sophomore year. I'm going to say sophomore year. I could be wrong about this. Could be wrong, but I'm going to say sophomore year. Physical or digital art? Physical all day long. But then again, there's pros and cons. Physical, you need the physical materials to make the artwork with. Physical can take a long time. Trust me, I know. Digital, the good part about digital is you can film it like what's playing right now. You can film it and upload it, and that's fine. That's cool. Digital can be cleaner because you have the tools on there, the symmetry and all other stuff, the copy paste, whatever. You can't copy and paste in real life, that's for sure. I just like the hands-on stuff. That's why I like physical art materials. I like getting my hands dirty. I like, I like getting my paint brushes dirty and having to go clean them in the water afterwards. Okay, that's my thing. Okay. Medium of choice. I love, this is a difficult question. I was gonna say, I'm gonna say acrylic. And here's why. I never used oils in my life, so I'm not going to speak on what that's like. I'm going to say acrylic because it lasts long, forever. And with watercolors, it could get destroyed, it could get damaged. I do love the combination of watercolor and colored pencils, though. That's amazing. I love that combination. I love gouache. A lot of people don't know what that is. If you don't know what it is, it's basically if acrylic and watercolor had a baby. Just think of it that way. It's fun. It's nice. A lot of people don't know what it is, but it's pretty sweet. I love it. I love pencils. Just love colored pencils. I don't really use markers like that. I'd like to use markers in the future, but I don't really have markers like that. So, medium of choice, I'm going to say, is acrylic. It's also really diverse. You can mix it with fabric medium, and then you can make clothes for yourself that you can wear. So I'm going to say acrylic all day long. Least favorite medium. My least favorite medium is by far oil pastels. The way that those things are so not blendable, you can't layer colors. It's just, I don't like it. I just don't like it. They're good for backgrounds if you're doing if you're like coloring a piece or something. They're good for like backgrounds and blend it. You have to blend it out real good and make sure that it's not gonna smudge. Maybe put some fixative on it or something, and that's kind of cool. Favorite type of paper. My favorite type of paper by far and away is watercolor. Because unlike Bristol, it's not like super smooth and you can't lay anything down properly on it. I love watercolor. It's great for mixed media. It's perfect. I love it. It's got tooth, but not a lot of tooth, and it's not, and it's also not completely smooth like Bristol board. That's why it's my favorite, y'all. Get you some watercolor paper. It's amazing. It's gonna change your life. And I also like computer paper. It's thin. You don't really have to worry about wasting it. That's why I like that. It's like good to brainstorm. It's not like sketchbook paper where you're worried about messing it up, or watercolor paper or whatever. It's like if you want to get something out on a piece of paper and you don't want to worry about how it's going to turn out, use computer paper. And then you could always go with the light box, or like I have the Cricut pad, and you can always ink over it. You put your computer paper down first, and then put the real paper on top of it, and then just, sketch over it. And then ink it and make it look all pretty. So I love computer paper too, I'm not going to lie. Has your family supported you in your desire to be an art, or your desire / decision to be an artist? Absolutely. I've been blessed. A lot of people, a lot of families. I remember talking to some girls back in the day about this. They always wanted to be an animator or an artist, and then they're always told, no, you have to be a lawyer, doctor, whatever, because it's not stable. I feel bad for people like that, because they could have been a great artist, and instead their parents told them, hey, you got to be a doctor, you got to be a lawyer. So it's like, So I'm forever grateful for the support that I've had, not only from my family, but from friends and family friends and family of friends. And I'm just forever grateful that I've had people in my life that have tried to motivate me, and I've had the motivation from teachers telling me to keep doing this, keep going on. Shayla, you're amazing at what you do. You are one of the best students I've ever had. And every single accomplishment has made me more positive and more set in my way and knowing that this is what I need to do in life, and this is my profession. This is what I'm good at. And I'm going to keep going, and I'm going to keep doing what I do. And every single time I win something or get an award, and it just makes me feel so much better, because I know I'm going down the right path. Do you have a place to sell your art? Not really. Kinda. I'm not gonna let you know where that is right now, because it's kind of still in the process of me figuring out how to ship this stuff out and whatever. That's a whole nother project in and of itself. How and when do you get ideas? I usually, people make jokes about this, artists make jokes about this, but it's true. You get the best ideas when you're in, it's 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the morning, and you literally cannot make art, but you just had the most brilliant idea in the world. Or you're in the shower and you're thinking, oh, that could be nice, or this, that and the third, or it's usually the moments when you're literally not sitting down at a table and you're just daydreaming about what you can make, what you can do, what's innovative, what's new. You don't want to be doing things that people have done before. And you know what the worst part is? When you go online and you want to look something up before you make it, and someone's already done it before you. That's no fun. I don't like that at all. What are some of your accomplishments thus far? I've gotten a lot. In my 19 years of life, I've done a lot in my profession, and I'm proud of it. I am completely proud of it, and I will brag about it all. No, I'm just kidding. No, I've gotten a lot of things done. I've been in a lot of art shows, gotten a lot of artwork displayed all over the place. I'm proud of myself. I'm trying to think of things. I've done things. I'm proud. I'm proud of what I've gotten done. My little face was on the, my art piece was on the cover for the, of the art show in my school, my town. That was amazing. That was an accomplishment. The stuff that I've gotten done at, the town fair. I won 4 tickets to Medieval Times. I won myself a meal and watching people sword fight. Amazing. Fun. That was honestly one of the best gifts I've ever got. And that was huge because everyone in the town voted for me. I was in the midst of painting a mural when I left. I didn't finish it yet because of this whole coronavirus stuff. It really bothers me every day that it's not finished and it's not done and it's not over with. but I will get it done at some point. Whenever that is, they're going to let me back in, and I'm going to finish it myself, because, listen, I'm not going to have anybody paying over my work. And that's just period. But I've had a lot of accomplishments. I've had countless numbers of teachers in my life, countless numbers of people in my life completely, totally motivating me to keep doing this. People that I was at school with telling me things look good and oh my gosh, this is so good, and I love hearing that. And it just makes me know that I'm on the right path. I'm on the path to success, and it's going to happen one day. One day you're going to see myself in the Met. You know what I'm saying? And when people say this type of stuff to me, I'm like, are they crazy? I'm like, the Met? But then I started thinking about it. I'm like, wow, like I really can start making this real. I can make this a reality. I'm not a quitter, okay? The last thing, I'm a quitter. I'm very, when I got my mindset on something, I'm gonna get it done. It's just my Capricorn self. And so, and by the way, I probably would never want my stuff in the Met anyway, just because, they like to steal other cultures' artwork and just like steal it and stuff. I'm not about that, but I'm saying like I could for real get into a museum one day. My art, and I'm not bragging. I'm not saying I'm like the next big thing. I'm just saying it could happen. It could happen, and whatever. Whatever. So it just solidifies for me that I'm doing the right thing. I'm like, my whole life has been live, breathe art. Live, breathe, eat, sleep art. And I'm not quitting now. You're gonna be kidding me. I'm not quitting now. I've got all these supplies to make artwork with, and I'm not quitting now. Listen, I'm not gonna give up. So that's some of my accomplishments. I'm not gonna get, I've got a lot of them, so I'm not trying to brag. I'm just saying, like, for my age, I've got quite a lot. What are some goals of yours? My goal, I've got a lot of goals. I've got a goal to make a coloring book and publish it, put it together myself. That's a goal of mine. That can happen in the future. I have a goal to get a piece in a museum. Don't care where it is. I just want it to be a museum. I've got a goal of making some, things that'll just people look at and say, wow, like that's amazing. And people will stare at for years and just be, still mystified by whatever I create. That's like literally my goal. Are you planning to further your education in art? Absolutely not. Never in a million years would I spend money or have the government spend money for me to have a professor getting up there telling me how to make art, telling me how to do what I need to do in the field. Never in a million years would I have some failure of an artist get up there and tell me what I need to do and me pay for it, or me and the government pay for it, whoever. I'm not going to do that. And by the way, what is a fine arts degree going to get you in the world anyway? I'm not like one of these gender studies people and I'm wasting other people's money and I'm going to expect, to get a job. No. Fine arts, what is a fine arts degree going to get me? Nothing. Maybe a job at another college as a professor teaching other people fine arts. It doesn't make sense. I would never in a million years. Whenever people always ask me, and this is like before I left high school, people would always ask me like, Shayla, where are you going for college? You're not like too thrilled about college, but where are you thinking about going? I'm like BS, and I'm like maybe community college, BS, and maybe Rutgers, and maybe whatever. I was always listen. I already knew day one, I was never going to go to college for a fine arts degree. Are you kidding me? What am I going to do with that? Why would I waste 4 years of my life when I can get in the field now? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. Why would I do that to myself? Why would I waste 4 or 2 years listening to someone telling me what I can do when I can just go out there and do it? That's the problem with these people in college. Is they want to listen to someone talking about business and numbers and whatever. Go out there and do it. Do it. Don't have this failure of a professor get up there telling you what you can and cannot do. How about you go out there and do it? You know what I'm saying? And then if you fail, maybe you want to go back and learn some things. Okay. Or maybe you want to take a few classes. But I'm not going to have some failure of a professor or failure in fine arts teach me how to do fine art. No, I don't think so. Okay, buddy, I'm gonna do it myself. Okay, that's just my, I'm not really like a lot of artists out here. I'm not really like a lot of people. That's very obvious to me. I'm not like a lot of people. I'm different. I don't want to hear someone telling me what I can and cannot do. I'm gonna do it. Okay, so that's just I am. And like I said, what am I gonna get with a fine arts degree? For real, what am I gonna get? Tell me, what am I gonna get with a fine arts degree? Okay. It's almost as bad as gender studies, but not really. What am I gonna get? Nothing. So but do you know what I can get if I'm not gonna go to school for 2 years, and instead I'm working? I get knowledge. I get experience. I get money. What do you get when you're in college? Nothing. Piece of paper at the end of it. And a bunch of headaches. Not what I need. So, anyway. I do understand that I'm different from most people. Most people don't think like this. Let me tell you a story, and then we'll be done with this, because I finished all my questions. I remember there was one time, we were in marketing, okay? I went up there. I was sitting in a class, okay? And there was majority. And this is not like a race thing. This is just like me telling you. Or sexist thing. I'm a woman. I'm telling you, there was 90% of the classroom was women. And I'd say probably about 70% of them were black. That's not me being racist. That's not me being sexist. I'm just giving you the demographics, okay? And so I was in the class, and I got up there, and I basically told them at the end of it, what is the point of college? It's a piece of paper. What am I going to do with it? And they were all all in arms. They're like, oh my gosh, what are you talking about? It's a piece of paper. What are you talking about? You need college. What? You're going to be a homeless woman. You're going to be a bag lady. I'm like, what are you talking about? Has no one ever told you that you don't need a degree to start a business? Has no one ever told you that you don't need a degree to be a success? Has no one ever told you that in your life? I mean, wow. So you've got these people who are in debt telling their... I'm not going to get into all this, but... Anyway, end of the story. Guy comes up to me at the end of the class. Black guy. He was a senior at the time. Comes up to me at the end of the class. He was like, wow. He was like, I can't... He was telling me, I can't believe... I'm paraphrasing here. I'm not going to really... I don't remember word for word what it was that he said. He's basically saying, wow, I can't believe you got the balls to go up in front of that whole classroom full of black women that think and have been told their whole lives that they need a degree. I can't believe you just had the balls up there to go and tell them basically that their whole life is a lie and that you don't need a degree to be successful. And you know what? And I was like, wow, this guy is woke, number one. And number two, it's like, wow, that was really nice to hear someone else around my age telling me basically, that I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So that was something cool and interesting, and I'll never forget that day, you know what I'm saying? Because, like, there really, a lot of people my age, in my age group, are basically brainwashed into believing that the only way to success is a degree. And I'm here to tell you that's not true. I'm here to break the walls down and tell you that's simply not true. And if you want to do something, go do it. That's all I'm here to say. Like I said, it's not a race thing. It's not a sexist thing. It's just me telling you what the guy literally told me, what he was observing. And like I said, the whole room was up in arms about it. They were like, oh my God, what are you talking about? You need a degree. Who told you don't need a degree? I mean, wow. The ignorance in that classroom was just wow. And the guy came up to me and he was like, I can't believe you basically just wrecked these girls' worlds and just told them that everything that they know is not true. Wow. Can't believe you had the balls up there to go and do that. But it's like, that's me. That's me. I'm going to tell you like it is. Like it or not. That's what it is. What it is. So, anyway. Just understand that if you're in the arts, and you know you're good at what you're doing, why do you need someone telling you how to dance? Why do you need someone telling you how to act? Why do you need someone telling you how to sing? If you know you're good at what you do, why would you ever pay for someone to tell you that you're good at what you do? I'm just like confused. I'm just like, what a waste of time. What a waste of time and effort. If you know that you're good at what you do, why would you ever go and get a degree for it? And prove it. Listen, if I'm good at something, like I am good at something, I'm good at art, I don't need a degree to show somebody that I'm good at art. No, do you know what I do need though? I do need the art itself to go and show them that I'm good at art. You understand what I'm saying? That's like, this is like you getting a degree in the performing arts, and you're going to a casting call. Is the person that's at the casting call gonna ask for your degree? They might, but do you know what's really gonna put the icing on the cake for them? Do you know what's really gonna make them want to hire you? If you're good at what you do, if you get up there and you start singing and you're good and you sound like an angel, they're gonna hire you. If you're up there and you act like it's literally your life, they're gonna hire you. But you know what they're not gonna do? They're not gonna hire someone who has a degree that isn't good at what they do. Okay. Glad we ended off on that note. Just letting you know. Anyway, that was the end of the Q&A. That was very fun. That was definitely longer than I expected. That's actually not the end of the Q&A. What am I talking about? That was the end of the normal segments. Okay, so I wrote 2 more questions to ask myself. What content can we expect to see on this channel? Well, you can expect to see movie reviews, book reviews, recommendations for books and movies. You can expect to see gardening advice, gardening hauls, books, gardening, whatever. You can expect to see maybe like gardening type content, like me telling you how to save seeds, or me telling you how to whatever it is, you know what I mean? You can expect to see gaming content. You can expect to see funny bits and clips, moments of sorts. The real crazy stuff will be on my Bitchute and Rumble, like the real like crazy gaming content and stuff, like all the loony stuff. Like you'll see that over there. But yeah, like me talking about games and whatever new things is coming out, you can expect to see on this channel. What other places can people find you? Great question to end off with. You can find me on Bitchute, Rumble, Parler, Twitter, Instagram, YouTube, Soundcloud, Goodreads, everywhere pretty much, except for, I've always said to people, never Facebook, never Snapchat. Not gonna happen, never gonna happen. You're never gonna see me on there ever. And everything's in the description box below. All of my socials are in the description box below. You can find all of those things below. And so, make sure to like and subscribe to my channel. Hit that notification bell. And make sure to, keep an eye out for uploads on this channel and my other channel. And my Bitchute, my Rumble, my Parler, whatever. Yeah, just make sure, I don't know what I already said this on my other channel. I don't know what my upload schedule is going to be yet. I haven't made up my mind. But I expect to have out a video at least every month. I'm not going to make any promises to you because I'm not going to break those promises. And you know what I've always said? It's better to keep your hopes down, very low, so that when an upload does magically, mysteriously come into your subscription box, you'll be excited about it, because then you'll be like, oh, I thought she was only going to upload one video a month, and I got 2, or I got 3, or I got 4, I got 5. Wow, exciting. So just keep your hopes down, very low. I'm starting off, it's going to be a little bit rocky in these first few months. It was rocky for me when I started my podcast years ago. It was rocky for me then, the first few episodes, and then you start to warm up a little bit, and you start to be like, oh, I don't really care what I say, and I'm just going to let it go. That's what this is going to be. It's going to be rough. It's going to be hard. Okay, it's going to be difficult these first few months. But when I start to get into it, y'all are going to be excited. Okay, that's all I'm going to say. So, and I'm not the best editor in the world. So just like I said, keep your hopes very low. And then when I surpass your expectations, you'll be super excited. You'll be like, oh my goodness, wow, this is really good content. Wow, I'm really excited that this came out. Anyway, so that's basically it. I kind of went off on multiple tangents there, but that's what you get when talking about me. Okay, so that was pretty exciting. I hope you guys enjoyed the speed paint in the background. I did this for this particular speed paint. This is for a little side project too, not gonna lie. This is a little project that you might see and come to fruition in a few years, but yeah, I hope you liked this little piece that was going on in the background. I did this a few months ago. This is very fun. This is done on my Cintiq with the program. Oh, let me tell you what program I use, and then I'll leave. I promise. I use a lot of artists like using Photoshop, like using whatever they have on their little Apple tablets and stuff. I don't have an Apple tablet. Sorry, I don't like giving Apple money. But this program is actually free. You can go to it yourself. I use Sketchbook Pro. And it's actually, for someone like me who's used to doing physical art, this is not like an Illustrator type program where you're connecting dots. This is actually you're legit drawing on the screen. It's with your stylus or whatever you have, your mouse, whatever. So there's less of a learning curve with this program. So if you're a beginner digital artist like I am, you can use this program for free. Download it for free. It's called Sketchbook Pro. They've got a lot of different brush sets for free. They've got a lot of cool stuff. You can do a lot of cool stuff with this thing. and it's very fun. So that's what you were seeing in the background. And anyway, that was fun. So anyway, like I said, I don't know when I'm gonna be back next, but I'm glad that you watched this video and understood, what type of content's gonna be uploaded over here and everything like that. It was fun talking to you, fun talking about my hobbies and stuff, because I'm very passionate about some of this stuff, guys. Like, it's fun for me, it's exciting. And this is more lighthearted stuff. This is more of the stuff that I like to talk about and get excited over. So anyway, I said make sure to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. Check my description for all my social medias. And till next time, bye, I guess.